Hi, fifth graders. So today we are doing more practice with division. One thing has changed. The number in our dividend, so the number we start with, is just getting larger. This time we have a 4-digit number that goes to the thousandths. So we're going to use that same exact process. Dad, mom, sister, brother, rover. Starting with divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and repeat, or remainder when you get to the end of the number. That same process. So don't be too freaked out. Let's get started. On this first one, don't worry about writing it down. I just want you watching and thinking. That means your eyes are on the video. Let's get going. Can 29 go into 6? It cannot. Let's get used to writing that 0 up top, because when you have a decimal, it's going to matter. How many times can 29 go into 62? So if you're someone who prefers to do our adding, you're starting with the 1 there and adding 29 to that until you get as close to 62 without going over. If you're someone who prefers to multiply, I'm thinking, how many times do I think 29 could go into 62? I'm thinking that's really close to 30, 60. I'm thinking probably twice. Let's try that. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And you'll end up getting that same thing here. And 58 is pretty close to 62. So I'm thinking I am right. 2 times, I couldn't get to 62, but we got to 58. What is 62 minus 58? That's 4. There's only 4 numbers in between there. There's no need to do the borrowing from over here or regrouping to make that 2 into a 12. Because I know 58, if I count up, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62. 4 numbers. Let's bring down our 4. So now I need to repeat. Let's divide again. How many times can 29 go into 44? Sorry, let me get me light. There we go. Well, 2 times would have been 58. So 2 times is too much. That means it can only go in once. Just 29. So it can go in 1 time. I couldn't get to 44. I only got to 29. Let's subtract there. Again, you could count up 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Kind of use some mental math there. Or if you prefer, regroup. That 4 becomes a 3. And this 4 becomes a 14. What is 14? Take away 9? 5. And 3, take away 2, 1. So 15. But we're not done yet. Remember, we need to keep, after we subtract, bringing down the rest of the numbers. So that 7 needs to come down. Repeat. So once again, how many times can 29 go into 157? If you prefer to add, just keep going. So add 29, figure out what that is. Add 29 again if you have to, figure out what that is. You're trying to get to as close to 157 as possible without going over. I'm thinking that's like 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. I'm going to say let's try 5 times. 5 times 9 is 45. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 4 is 14. That is pretty close. I don't think I could add 29 to this without going over because they're only about 10 apart. So how many times can 29 go into 157? 5 times. 5 times. And I couldn't get quite here. I got to 145. Let's subtract. 7 minus 5 is 2. 5 minus 4 is 1. And 1 minus 1 is, of course, 0. Is there another number to bring down? Nope. So this is going to be our remainder. On all these problems, if you're solving independently, you should be checking. Remember our rainbow. Go up and over. 29 times 215 and add the remainder. All right. I would like you to do your best to solve this one. I'll get you started. Let's do, so it's 4,289 divided by 52. Take a second to write that down. I'm going to go one digit at a time. Can 52 go into 4? Cannot. Add a 0. Can 52 go into 42? Nope, 52 is larger. So we have to figure out how many times will 52 go into 428. So again, if you like to add, start with your 52. That's your first group. And keep adding 52 until you can get to as close to 428 without going over. And let me think. If I'm a multiplying person, it's close to 50. So if I counted by 50s, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400. And it'd be 450, which is too much. So I'm thinking, let's try 8 times. All right, pause the video and solve using whatever method you prefer. All right, let's check. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 1 is 41. Ooh, that is pretty close. 416 and 428. I'd say they're about 10 off. In fact, they're 12 off, so I couldn't add any more. So make sure if you were doing your adding, it's okay if you made a little mistake, that happens, but when you get down to your 8th group, you should have 416. So 52 can go into 428 8 times, which is 416. We subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. And 4 minus 4 is 0. Not done. Let's bring down our next number. So we have 129 to work with now. If you already did your addition, I bet you found one of these addition problems got you pretty close to 129. Which one got you close to that without going over? If you were using multiplication, here's the downfall. It was much quicker, but now we have to refigure out how many times can 15 go into 129. Pause and finish solving and find your remainder. Okay. Close to 50, 50, 100. I'm thinking twice. Let's do 52 times 2. Be 4 and 10. And these numbers are 25 away from each other. So I think I'm right. I couldn't do 3 groups because that would get too much. So 52 can go into 129 2 times, which got me to 104. Did you already figure out your remainder? 9 minus 4 is 5. 2 minus 0 is 2. Our remainder is 25. And I've had you check your work on all the other lessons. So on this one, you would do the same thing. I'm not actually going to have us do it since I'm confirming your answer. But don't forget your rainbow. Go up and over. 52 times 82. And then add your remainder to that. Okay, one last practice problem before you do your problem set. I would like you to solve 6,649 divided by 63. 6,649 divided by 63. All right, you're going to pause. You're going to solve, and you are going to check your answer by going up and over and multiplying 63 times your answer, and then add the remainder. I am not going to solve this one. I want you to check your work to see if you got the correct answer. If you do 63 times your answer and you add your remainder, you'll know you got it right if your answer is 6,649. Okay, this one's on you. So take your time solving. And if you don't get the right answer, I want you to go back and try and figure out why. Okay, pause now and finish solving and checking. Okay, I know you went back, you solved, you checked. If you got the wrong answer and you couldn't figure out why, I'm going to kind of speed us through this. 63 can't go into 6, but 63 can go into 66, and that would be one time. Should bring us to 63. We would have 3 when we subtract. Here's the part you may have gotten stuck. If you bring down that 4, Dad, Mom, sister, brother, Rover, you just brought down, repeat again. Divide. Can 63 go into 34? It can't. It goes in 0 times. So we couldn't get anywhere close to 34. We got to 0. So when you subtract again, you're still with that 34. Bring down the next number. But if you got it wrong, it might be because you forgot to write that 0 up there. You can't forget, because 63 couldn't go into 34. 63 can go into 349 though. It actually will go in 5 times, because 63 times 5 is 315. So when you subtract that, your remainder is 9 minus 5 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. You have a remainder of 34. Make sure you checked it. You should be doing this on all your practice problems on your problem set as well. So we'd have 105 times 63, or you could have flip-flopped them. And when you solve that, here's our partial products. We have 315, 6,300, and when you finish adding, you should have 6,615 plus your remainder. 6,615 plus 34 is 6,649, which is what we started with. How'd you do? All right, we are on lesson 23. So find lesson 23 in your Blue Spine practice or learn book, excuse me. And let me flip to mine. It is on page 277. 277. Your must-do problems. I'm giving you a choice. You could do the first column, so you could do A, C, and E, or B, D, and F. It's up to you. So these 3 questions or these 3 questions. It's your choice. All right, when you're ready to check your work, you're going to go on to the next slide, but also you are checking your answers using multiplication. Don't forget to do that, because on the test, it's important to try and get your best work by checking your answers and seeing if you get them right. Good job, everyone. Bye.